Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in Washington as we speak. He's just met with President Trump and he handed Donald Trump a letter showing him that he has nominated Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. I want to get your thoughts on that in a moment. And leaders were also asked about how close a peace deal is between Israel and Hamas. And this is what Steve Witkoff had to say.
There was a security incident in northern Gaza today, right around the time that the Prime Minister was meeting with Secretary of State, Mr. Steve Witkoff. Does that, and a number of IDF soldiers reportedly have been injured, possibly killed, does that in any way put a wrinkle in ceasefire negotiations with Hamas?
I don't think so. They want it. They want to meet and they want to have that ceasefire. So I don't think so. Steve, could you respond to this? You know about it?
Well, I think it's terribly unfortunate. Terribly unfortunate. We were just talking about it, how tragic it is, but we have an opportunity to finally get a peace deal, Mr. Prime Minister, as we discussed, and I'm hopeful for it very quickly.
Hilary, I'd love to get your thoughts on Donald Trump being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, but also your thoughts on Steve Witkoff's comments just now. Is this a turning point, do you think, in bringing the war in Gaza to an end?
Well, two things there, two questions. Yes, the first point with regard to the Nobel Peace Prize, actually, there are many who say, and I tend to agree, that he should have received it when he initiated the Abraham Accords during his first administration. So I think this is better late than never, I would say. And definitely he's done more for peace in the Middle East than any president that I can think of in any of our lifetimes. I'm certainly in a region that's seen thousands of years of infighting. So I think it's well-deserved and the right kind of timing. With regard to Steve Witkoff, he's also, by the way, just if I might make mention, been really great in terms of these negotiations. And I think there is a chance for a peace negotiation. I sure hope so, because I've been invited to a state dinner in Tel Aviv with Ambassador Huckabee and President Herzog in August, where
Brilliant.
we're Knesset site visit. So I'm hoping by then, yes. And I think that it's on the table. It's looking good as it's been in thousands of years.
Oh, Hilary, please keep us posted on that. Look, Donald Trump also took several questions from reporters, which is so refreshing when you compare him to Joe Biden that we had for years. But looking at him, watching that exchange between Donald Trump and the reporters during his meeting with Netanyahu, he also said that Iran has reached out for talks. Donald Trump also revealed that once again, he's not happy with Putin by refusing to end the war. And he said that the US will be sending more weapons to Ukraine.
Ukraine, Mr. President, are you planning to send more weapons to Ukraine?
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard. Very sad. So many people are dying in that mess.
Hilary, this would be welcome news for Ukraine.
Yes, I think so. I'm resuming those weapon shipments. And I think President Trump is definitely a man of peace. And Gabriella, he's one of the few leaders that you ever hear always talking about, the sadness of the loss of lives. There's mission of war, which is when old men send young men to die. He's somebody who does not want to send young men or women to die. And I think that sadly, this is necessary. And as he made the point, he's very disappointed in Putin, as I think the whole world is. Can't see what Putin's final objectives are. He's not popular anywhere in the world.
Let's talk about tariffs. Donald Trump has threatened new tariffs on any nation supporting anti-American policies of the BRICS group. In a Truth Social post, Trump said that the US would impose an additional 10% tariff on any country aligning themselves with the anti-American policies of BRICS. Now, this is, of course, an alliance that comprises of 10 countries, including China, Russia and Iran. And Donald Trump has also sent tariff letters today to 12 countries. This includes Japan and South Korea that have been hit with a 25% tariff. And the letter also said if for any reason you decide to raise your tariffs, then whatever the number you choose to raise them by will be added onto the 25% that we charge. So Donald Trump has been keeping the world guessing with tariffs. We've spoken about this before, but what are your thoughts on this development?
Well, I think really, I mean, it's fascinating to me. I don't know who made all the former trade deals the US had historically, because they totally and utterly hollowed out American manufacturing and American jobs. I think that what he's talking about is fair and reciprocal across the world. And I do think it's going to rebalance global trade. I don't think this is to the detriment of other nations. Other nations need America more than the US needs them. And I think this is going to end up actually being beneficial across the globe, not just for the US. Why? Because everyone needs the US markets.
Before I let you go, Hilary, let's talk about the UK. The UK is set to lose more millionaires than any other country this year. Figures from advisory firm Henley and Partners predict that 16,500 millionaires will leave Britain in 2025. I mean, just how bad is this for the UK?
Well, it's terrible. It's ghastly. A millionaire leaves, yes, every 45 minutes. And one of the things I always say is they say history repeats itself. This is what happened before Margaret Thatcher came to power. Actually, it's when we emigrated to the United States. This has happened before. The UK used to be the sick man of Europe until she brought it back. I think it's ghastly and it's very, very sad. I think it's right at the very bottom of all the global migration statistics. And I do think that Keir Starmer, the recent poll was that only 61% disapprove of him. I wonder why it's so low.
Absolutely, that's right. This comes as Keir Starmer's approval rating hits an all-time low, with 61% of people thinking that he is doing a bad job. Hilary Fordwich, we have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure, Gabriella.